as quite as dangerous a runner around from broken play and things.
He injects a lot of enthusiasm into the team, and he's a very spirited player.
I like his attitude. You know, he's almost cocky, but certainly a great team player and a joy to play with and tour with.
Starting to set the back line alight, which is what his target is.
Up to where there's an injured player, Carlos Spencer carrying it on with Laney. What a brilliant score this is going to be! Who's going to get it? Spencer gets 5! 50 tries, 5 to Spencer, and that equals the all-time NPC record for tries in a game.
As a schoolboy, Carlos Spencer first made his mark. Sitting in the stand here, Auckland coach Graham Henry recognised the talent. A switch to play for Auckland followed. The rest is history.
It's a glorious try by the 18-year-old Carlos Spencer.
Probably at college, I think it was, you know, my ambition was to be an All Black. And, you know, I sort of realised I had a bit of talent there, and maybe if I continued and obviously moved that in, you know, it could happen. And obviously it has, and I'm pretty pleased with the way it's been going.
Now is for Carlos Spencer.
Best thing about being the All Black is obviously, you know, big games like these ones, South Africa. You know, touring, you get to tour a lot of places and, you know, meet some good people. And obviously the guys around you.
And here's another chance of lots of obstruction, but it's Carlos Spencer. 2 tries, 2 minutes.
If I'm out there, I like to enjoy the game. And obviously if I'm not enjoying it, well, I don't know why I'm playing it, really. And I suppose it's just having fun out there, you know. Just, and obviously it helps when you're winning, to have fun. So I think all those little grins are obviously to the teammates half the time and just having fun, you know. I think the strengths of my game are my attacking ability. You know, I like to run the ball and obviously keep it in hand as much as possible. And I like to hope to think in the last couple of weeks, my goal kicking. Yeah.
Well, this is a marvellous achievement by Spencer if this one goes through. And that's 100 points in tests, in only his 5th test for Colossus, Carlos Spencer.
Well, if I didn't do tomorrow, I'd probably miss the fun. Probably the bunch of guys, you know, they've been really great. And especially this year, they've helped me out, you know, really well. Especially the senior guys, and obviously the management have been great. And I think especially John Hart, you know, he's encouraged me a lot this year.
Carlos Spencer confirms this is his season.
Well, his goal kicking really has been amazingly accurate. He's had a sensational introduction to Test match rugby. That's Carlos Spencer. Well, we're going to find Keith Quinn and Grant Fox in just a moment. They were meant to be in the commentary box, but they too are enjoying this wonderful atmosphere here at Eden Park in Auckland. They're somewhere in the car park, I think.
Well, John, out here in the car park, expectancy running high for this game today. Grant Fox is with me. Grant, what about all this talk in the media and in the public about New Zealand being the big favourites? Does that sort of talk during the week seep through into a Test team?
Well, the All Blacks deserve to be the favourites. I mean, recent records suggest they'll go in heavily expected to win. But in terms of the team, no, they've played South Africa often enough in recent years. And in Johannesburg 3 weeks ago, it was an awful battle. You know, one that perhaps we were a little lucky to get out of at the end of the day. So the team will remember that. We've also got a couple of special guys to play for today. Frank Bunce, 50 Test matches. Sean Fitzpatrick, 50 Tests as captain. And, of course, Beatrice Firmino will play a big part of the motivation. So that'll be all the talk in the camp this week. So they'll be focusing on what they've got to do, more so than being worried about South Africa.
So what sort of game are you hoping for this afternoon?
Free-flowing, great conditions.
Good field. It's always a good game at Eden Park, but the weather's fine and the field looks great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got a decent day for a change. We haven't had too many earlier this year. So great conditions. It'll be a great atmosphere. The All Blacks play a positive style of footy. So, you know, I think we'll see a real cracker this afternoon.
Great to have the Springboks All Blacks back on Eden Park. Back to you, John.
Keith Quinn and Grant Fox will be back with them in just a moment when the game starts here at Eden Park. I have to tell you too that Grant Fox did bring his umbrella. He doesn't trust the weather here in Auckland any more than anyone else does. And out there among the car park still is a man who really enjoys coming to these Test matches. He's been in the car park, he's been in the grandstand, he's been in all sorts of areas here looking for someone interesting to chat to. Yes, it is the one and only Philip Leishman.
Well, enjoying the atmosphere here, a group of South African supporters, and they've come a long way. In fact, where are you from?
From Johannesburg.
Okay, big supporter of the South African team?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
And you went to Brisbane. What, were you disappointed?
Very disappointed.
And what do you think today?
Well, it's always been close with the New Zealanders and South Africans and the Springbok side, and I think we're going to win.
Okay, well, some other opinions. Where are you from?
I'm from Cape Town.
Can I ask about that? What's that? Sticking plaster?
No, I've actually got a little zit, so I've just covered it up.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay, who's going to win?
I've got to go for South Africa today. We expected to win in Brisbane. We lost that one, so got to go back home 1-1, and that's the way we thought at first. We'd win in Australia and lose here. Now I'm going the other way around, so 1-1.
Good on you. Okay, well, a couple of other opinions. You're from?
Johannesburg.
Yeah, and which way are you going?
We're the underdogs today, so we have to win. We always win when the underdogs.
Good on you. And you, sir?
From Johannesburg as well. And I think we're going to win today.
Oh, I like the confidence here. Here's a guy's covering his... Oh, no, wait on. This isn't the All Blacks.
The Tall Sharks.
Oh, boy, I nearly made a bad mistake there.
And this isn't a zit, it's a Maori tattoo, but I've managed to persuade the guy to give me the right colours.
Okay, who's going to win?
South Africa.
All right, good luck, boys. Enjoy your stay.
Well, Louis Late is here as well, Mr. Springbok Rugby. He's here. I did hear that he has bought another gold watch just to give to Derek Bevan. Oh, maybe that's just a story I heard. Okay, we're at Eden Park. We have the kick-off very shortly. But there was a curtain raiser today, a magnificent match featuring the New Zealand secondary schools team against the Welsh secondary school side. The New Zealand team led by a sixth former from St Pat's Town in Wellington, Jerry Collins. Let's see how his team went. It was 3-3 early on, and then the first try came after about 20 minutes. The New Zealand team hammered away. Grant McCoy, the fullback, made an excellent break, and then it went to Manu Taufanu on the left wing, and he scored an excellent try. He was happy with that. The second try came from some excellent line-out work by Sam McKinnon. The back line spearheaded there by Ross Soper playing at first five, feeding Peter Ipati. Now the centre three-quarter from Kings in Auckland went all the way. Support there from Michael Bartlett, but it wasn't needed. That was a fine individual run by Peter Ipati. At half-time it was 18 points to 3, New Zealand leading the Welsh. The Welsh had struggled mightily. They'd started very well, fallen to bits a little bit late in the first half, and then it was their turn to score a try. Two of the reserves involved. That was Andrew Jenkins setting up Ian Higgins, who raced over 30 metres to score the first try for the Welsh. New Zealand scoring more points, even though the Welsh have plenty of support, and played fairly well during the middle stages of the second half. Then we saw an excellent run by Rama Graham. Crowd, and asking all the right questions is Philip Leishman.
John, there's no doubt about it. There's been a definite trend that more women are going to rugby, and really we need to find out why. So I've asked 3 young women here today. What's the big attraction for you?
Mostly the entertainment and watching the team. I love the All Blacks and all the players.
You got a favourite player?
Carlos Spencer.
Carlos Spencer. Oh, yeah. I won't ask you why. Now, it's Denise I can see here. Denise, what attracts you to rugby these days?
I love the game. I love watching it. I love Josh Compel, and it's just a great day, great entertainment.
Do you think having a favourite player is a big attraction?
Very big. Pulls me along every time.
Oh, well, that's that. We'll better tell Josh that. Now, Christine it is. Christine, why do you come to the rugby?
I think the sport's got far more professional, and I think it's sort of turning the way that it's becoming more like as a family sport to come. I've got 2 young boys who are playing rugby as well, so you know, within our family, I mean, it's just sort of a rugby family.
Well, there's an old fella alongside you here. Yeah, I won't ask you. Why do you think more women are coming to rugby?
That's my daughter, and she was brought up as a league family. But I generally follow a sport, whether it's a good game, whether it's the best game, be it the league or rugby. That's my interest.
Well,
and today's the top game.
Excellent. Enjoy it.
So many more women coming to rugby, not just for the rugby, which is sensational, but also for the pre-match entertainment.
The match ball coming in this unique way. The little ball boy there has brought it in by the aerial route, and fantastic beginning. And that's the way it is. You see the crowd in here, 48,000. They've made it a few changes to Eden Park, a few new covered areas, a few new temporary stands in, and it's looking very good. Very good for a fast game, Grant Fox.
Absolutely. Conditions are superb here in Auckland. There's been some wet weather earlier in the season, but for this test match between the All Blacks and South Africa, it's a hummer here in Auckland. Just a light easterly breeze, plenty of atmosphere in the crowd.
You can see it in all the sunglasses these Aucklanders are wearing to the game today.
They're optimists.
There's the match ball coming in, nicely brought in. Well, perhaps not one of the ball boys, one of the other ones. There we go.
Oh, well spotted, Keith.
Well spotted. I spotted the difference. And look at this. Lots of excitement, lots of anticipation. And Yes, all the old-timers are in. There's Snow White behind him, the Prime Minister. So we put Snow White, the ex-All Black, in the front of the shot, and the Prime Minister gets him behind. The sunglasses are certainly here this afternoon. And excitement is running high from the South African fans too, some of whom have jetted in from South Africa, but many of whom are now resident in New Zealand. There are the New Zealand reserves coming out. Andrew Mertens, it's been a tough season for him to have to bite the bullet and spend time on the reserves bench. Charles Rickerman, Mark Allen, Afisa Tonu'u and Scott McLeod there in the reserves. But look at this field here. It is just perfect. We have very little wind today, as Grant Fox will tell you in more detail when the goal kicking starts. But look at that. That is a postcard shot of Eden Park 1997. Lots of flags on sale outside the ground these days. That's something that's changed in New Zealand rugby. We never used to have much flag waving in the old days, but we've started a lot of that. Some enterprising people out in the streets behind the stadium here, making lots of sales of the merchandise to go with this epic contest. Well, it's the 50th Test match played by the All Blacks in Auckland. It's the 48th on this park, Eden Park. They've also had one out at the Epsom Showgrounds a few years back, and one way back at 1908 at Potters Park. That's the more familiar place known as Alexandra Park Raceway these days. And here is Gary Teichmann. The Springboks under a lot of pressure this year. They've had a lot of defeats. And Teichmann has held his place right through. And once again, he leads out his nation's proud first 15 of rugby to do battle once again with the All Blacks in this famous tradition dating back to 1921. Gary Teichmann and the Springboks. Well, I've got to say, Grant, you and I were at Ellis Park a few weeks ago. A slightly more muted reception for the Springboks today than that night.
Yeah, it was a bit rowdy last time.
Here's the Springbok team. They've been ringing the changes this year with 4 places different here today from the team which lost so heavily last week to the Aussies. But we think it's a stronger team today with the inclusion of James Small, Honeyball, Herter and Dalton, all very experienced players. And look at Joe Gillingham, number 17, coming into the reserves, flown in this week to be added to the squad. And there is Henry Honeyball, the second 5/8 today, number 12, and I think a lot of South Africans will be very pleased to see him added to Gary Teichmann's team. A lovely, warm, sunny afternoon. Good for a player like Joos van der Westhuizen with his electric bursts off the mark. He could be a big factor in the game today.
Absolutely. If he gets a lot of ball up front, and if such as this man throws accurately to the line out, James Dalton, with a lot of ball, Van der Westhuizen will be a handful for the All Blacks.
Referee Derek Babin in the foreground with the touch judge today from France, Joel Dumais, and Brian Campsall from England. And here is Sean Fitzpatrick with Frank Bunce. Frank Bunce has got the ball. He's going to take the lead. Fitzpatrick is going to follow. 2 big milestones, the 2 of the big names of New Zealand rugby. Frank Bunce leads them out. Fitzpatrick follows. And then the rest of the All Blacks. There's Frank, his 50th Test match this afternoon for the All Blacks, back on the ground where he started in club rugby way back 15 seasons ago. Just one change for the All Blacks team today, with number 11, Tana Umaga, coming back after that injury, replacing Glenn Osborne. Otherwise, it's the same with milestones being passed today. My number 13, Frank Bunce, 50 Test matches, and Sean Fitzpatrick captaining the team for the 50th time today. And isn't that fantastic? And one change in the substitute, Scott McLeod comes back. He missed the tour of Australia and South Africa, but the rest are standard. Adrian Cashmore drops out of the reserves. Well, there he is, the man himself. 50 Test matches as captain. That is absolutely fantastic, and his 90th Test match overall. Well, he's back on Eden Park, but wearing a new colours for this ground. Carlos.
Absolutely. Zinzan Brook, spoke with him before the game. He is very, very focused.
Sing the national anthems, 13-year-old Adriana de Kaidish.
You remember Adriana de Kaidish from last year when she sang the anthems beautifully when the Scottish team were here. She's back again now as a 14-year-old.
Africa,
Combining three languages there, beautifully sung by Adriana de Cornish. And now, God defend New Zealand. She'll be much more at home with this one.
God of nations at thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star, from the shouts of strife and war, make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and join the All Blacks to congratulate Beatrice Faumuina upon winning her gold medal at the World Track and Field Games in Athens.
Well, that's a marvellous tribute. The All Blacks have asked for this tribute to be posted on the scoreboard here for Beatrice Faumuina, who won the tremendous effort in the discus at the World Track and Field Championship. But now, down to business. Let's go to John Macbeth on the sideline with a check on the conditions. John.
It couldn't be better. It's a fabulous day. 14, 15 degrees anticipated. It's firm. It couldn't be better. Just a light breeze. Not much to worry about, though.
Well, you heard a little bit of a rumble there from the crowd. That's because they just announced the name of the referee, Derek Bevan from Wales. He enjoyed it. And he's back controlling the All Blacks. He's done 7 matches controlling New Zealand team. Good to see him back. He controlled the World Cup final back in '91. He's the world's most experienced international test referee. And now we're getting all set for what we hope will be an epic sports encounter. James Dalton, new hooker.
The All Blacks have split at kick-off time. This is not a normal tactic from them. Ian Jones out to the right, Robin Brooke and some others out to the left.
Referee looks behind him, and it's a standard kick-off to the left, and the Tri-Nations Rugby Series continues. South Africa in the green against the All Blacks of New Zealand. And the first penalty goes to the Springboks. Referee Derek Bevan getting a bit of a hoot early on from the crowd, but that's a bit of good human Kiwi stuff, Grant Fox.
Yeah, Josh Cronfeld just a little bit quick out of the blocks. No advantage played by Derek Bevan and Yanni de Beer. Oh, just over Justin Marshall's head, bounces it into touch. That's a great kick.
Okay, it's a good field to play on, and the pressure's really on Mark Andrews today, because he suffered in the lineouts last week along with the whole of the Springbok lineout machine. The Aussies kind of cleaned them out, and so James Dalton is brought in to throw well, and let's see what they can do at lineout time. Up they go. The first one's taken by the skipper, Gary Teichmann. Strong drive on him. 15 metres out. Oz Durant, taken by Randall. It's a great start by South Africa. They drive for the line, and it's the big lock forward. Is it Andrews? Let's look and see who got it. A try is on the board, and it's Ruben Kruger who's got the first points of the game. Just a minute and a bit gone, and the Springboks are in town.
Yeah, just the start they would have wanted. Forward replay. Notice they threw to the back to Teichmann, where there was less density of All Black forwards. The Springbok forwards knew it was here. They put the drive on. Osteront out of the blocks, laid it up beautifully, right through the middle. Derek Bevan right beside Ruben Kruger as he goes over for the try. Here it is again. End on replay, straight through the middle. Derek Bevan right on the spot. Great start to the Springboks.
Ruben Kruger, his 32nd test. Been a great Springbok. This was the man they made man of the match, man of the series in 1995 when they won the World Cup. So they don't mind. They recognised what a great contributor he's been. The kick is over, 7-0 to the Springboks. Marshall away to Spencer. There's Frank Bunce on his 50th test. Floating it to Wilson. It's a knockback. Here comes the All Blacks.
Lost it there.
Lost it forward on the line. It could have been an equaliser with just 2 minutes gone.
Who can believe this? 2.5 minutes, and the All Blacks nearly reply at the other end. Frank Bunce in his 50th test found space, found Wilson. The pass knocked down by Honeyball. Cullen, just as he goes forward, goes to try and get it down in front of Westhuizen. Underneath them.
That's a famous tackle by Joos van der Westhuizen. Might go alongside that one by George Gregan a couple of years back. Yanni de Beer in position here for the clearance. 2 minutes gone. Big chase by Spencer through on de Beer, and they've eased it up to the 22.
Well, the in-goal areas aren't that big at Eden Park, and Spencer knows that. He went very quickly at Yanni de Beer, but he reacted well under pressure.
Well, you certainly wouldn't want to be late for this one. What a stunning start. The Springboks, of course, knowing that they can put the acid on the All Blacks as they did at Johannesburg. But almost 2 tries in 2 minutes. Unbelievable stuff.
Here it comes from Marshall to Spencer. To Alami Yeremia. There's the goal line coming into the picture. Spinning to the left, Marshall. And there's Olo Brown. Zinzan Brook has got it to Marshall. It's a spinning ball this time. Cullen gets it close to the line again. And it's a penalty for New Zealand. And a bit of a tussle here. Oh dear, this is not good. Some cool heads prevailing there.
Touch judge is on, talking to Derek Bevan in a moment.
Let's look at this again.
Well, there was men out to the right. Christian Cullen really needed to let this go. He had a dip on his own, nearly there. James Dalton, that's a professional foul in my book, and it all erupted from there. Just off to the bottom right of the screen, Josh Cronfeld has just got to his feet. He'd taken a heavy knock.
Look at the big crowd, and they got a great view of that one. Some of them resuming their seats. High excitement, but did we expect anything less?
Well, they stood when Frank Bunce came onto the field, a standing ovation for him. There's a fair bit of feeling out there. I saw the touch judge stepping out onto the field. I thought he was marching straight out to Derek Bevan, but Bevan had it under control.
The Springboks will be happy to concede only 3 here. Carlos Spencer shouldn't have any problems with this. Conceding 3 is a lot better than conceding 5 or maybe 7, which probably would have been the case, in my opinion, had Christian Cullen passed the ball.
Well, the crowd tell you at the back that New Zealander on the board. And Carlos Spencer, on his home ground, has registered with a penalty goal.
Well, the crowd loving this. It's a brilliant day in Auckland. The start to the match has matched the weather. 7 points to 3. South Africa, an early try. A penalty now by Spencer. The gap closes to 4. The restart from South Africa.
One world of sport
by Robin Brook.
One world of sport, putting you in the best seat in the house for what looks like is going to be a classic. There is Tana Umanga on the right wing. So he took the kick-off position there. Sometimes he swaps over. And there's Spencer, the little dummy, not taken.
Shut up.
Craig Dowd for the first time.
Get away! Get away!
Marshall's been handling a lot in the early stages. And now Robin Brook takes the crash ball up. Number 3 for South Africa is Marius Hutter. And Zinzan Brook, an intercept by Jos van der Westhuizen. The whistle has gone.
Well, I tell you what, he wasn't just a metre offside, he was 5 metres offside.
Excellent chase from Umanga too, because Van der Westhuizen's not a slow man.
Well, the All Blacks had numbers on the right. They were looking a little dangerous. Van der Westhuizen quite happy to concede the penalty.
South Africa have been down and out in recent weeks in the Tri-Nation Series, and in this season, as that one skies off Spencer's boot. Look at this again.
You just look on the right as play switched by Justin Marshall. Just Van der Westhuizen, miles offside, picked up by Derek Bevan.
So here's Sean Fitzpatrick for the first time thrown to a New Zealand line-out. Up goes Jonesy. Yeah, that's an interesting new drive, straight through the middle from Kronfeld to the halfway line. There's Randall. They're mixing up the guys who are doing the running.
Stay on your feet!
Robin Brook penalised.
Well, that's that new law that was changed in Cape Town. We talked about it at the last test match in Johannesburg between these two sides. Players going in at second phase must stay on their feet. Randall had used Derek Bevan as a bit of a shelter, if you like. Robin Brook, there he is, diving over, falling on his right side. That's the reason for the penalty.
Robin Brook on his home ground too. 25th test match in a row. He hasn't missed one since the World Cup in '95.
Only Ian Jones is getting set to compete. The rest of the All Black forwards are going to try and repel the drive.
Yes, you see them towards the back, and they got the tap anyway. An intercept by Ruben Kruger. Now, that's a hard one for the referee to judge on. There seemed to be a fair bit of argy-bargy in there. But I tell you what, Kruger was nearly over for 2.
Yeah. Well, stolen line-out ball here by Zinzan Brook. Kruger was onside. Lama Iramia just spoiled the party for Gary Teichmann. All Blacks a bit lucky.
Well, I think they're calling for a replacement here. You could see the signal coming in from Van der Westhuizen as number 6. That's the Ruben Kruger, the try scorer, is down. And yes, we can see Fritz van Heerden getting ready to go on. So, well, they'll miss this man if he goes up. Grant, he really is a powerful player, isn't he?
Oh, he's a super player, Ruben Kruger. One of their better performed players in recent times.
He got the pass away here to Teichmann, who tipped it forward, and then there was a little bit of interference on Teichmann trying to grab it again. And someone gave Teichmann a push, and someone gave Frank Bunce a clip.
Yeah, just think in the replay, you might have seen Ruben Kruger roll in, and it might be the ligaments on the inside of his ankle where he's got some problems.
So the New Zealanders in heavy discussion down at the back there. A wonderful atmosphere in the ground, just the gentle breezes in the background you see on the flags. Perfect afternoon for winter rugby. Fritz van Heerden has been in and out of South African teams for a number of years now, and if he comes onto the field, it'll be his 13th test match.
Well, there's a stretcher gone on, Keith, so there may be a hold-up for quite some time here, and it's always sad, isn't it? We don't like to see the stretcher going on, but Kruger had been playing so well, scoring that try and then driving close to the line again. He's a man they don't want to lose.
Yes, it is always a very sad sight, and Fritz not allowed to come onto the field until the injured player has headed to the sideline. Came to New Zealand with the team in '94 and got the kind of a reputation in New Zealand for giving away a lot of penalties in the blindside flank play. New Zealand coach John Hart. This is a home game for Hart as well. He's an ex-Auckland rep. And so Fritz van Heerden is into the game, and Ruben Kruger, who scored the try that gave the Springboks that stunning opening, is going to leave the field. And there's Frank Bunce and Carlos Spencer in the background. That's a bit of a discussion time for them and for everyone in the game. So we go to the blindside flank again. That's where he played those early tests, but he's been a lock as well. Western Province player. So we didn't see him in the Super 12 this year. And that is indeed a very sad sight. He's a very tough customer, Kruger. Remember, this is the guy. Looks like they think it might be a broken leg or something in there. This is the guy they say plays his rugby in complete silence, never utters a word, and has gained therefore the reputation of the silent assassin. Well, he certainly shocked the All Blacks. Let's have a look here and see if we can see. Oh yes, it seemed to me that he was in trouble there.
That's his left foot, isn't it, I think? Jeff Wilson knocked him off balance. It's his left leg. Looks like it's strapped.
So the battle resumes, 7-3. Not even 10 minutes gone, and a lot of high drama already. Well, Justin Marshall away to touch.
Yeah, that's super defensive play by the All Blacks. The scrum was going forward just a little bit. That took the pressure off Marshall, and he took advantage of it with a good clearance.
He's developed a lot of rivalries around the rugby world, hasn't he, Marshall? Marshall versus Gregan and Marshall versus Van der Westhuizen.
Well, he's a real competitor, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Competitor. He loves competition.
There they are to the left and right of the screen. Dalton throws. Free kick. Van der Westhuizen. That's Teichmann again. Sharp burst by Van der Westhuizen. Flat pass to Dalton. Well, they're on to Teichmann. You might have heard the call, watch the runner. But they've maintained possession here. Now it's swinging to the backs. De Beer. Honey ball for the first time. Russell bent it up, and they couldn't free it for James Small. He might have been a shoe-in if they'd got it. Van der Westhuizen. The tackler is Ian Jones. The referee goes down as well.
Well, the Springboks were unlucky there. The All Blacks had 3 of their backs involved in that tackle. So it was forwards out defending. If the Springboks had been able to win it quickly, they could have been dangerous.
Yeah, the gap was on the right, wasn't it, John?
Yep.
Quick ruck to the right. Small was still on his feet.
Frank Bunce stays down too after that tackle. He and Umaga top and bottomed on Small. And Bunce is a bit slow getting up. News from the camp. Ruben Kruger, the suspicion is a fractured dislocation of his ankle.
Oh boy, that doesn't sound too good.
No. Here we see it again. Watch this. Bunce low, Umaga high.
Bunce going backwards on Umaga over the top. So the momentum going one way, then pushed the other way pretty quickly. That obviously hurt Frank Bunce a little.
He's up on his feet and the crowd loves it. Jones.
Zinzan Brook from Ian Jones at line-out time. 35 metres out. Number 3 is Olo Brown. Off the floor, Marshall. Spencer. Bunce again. The big fend, and he's clear. Alama Yeremia. A great try for Yeremia and the All Blacks. But see the way Frank Bunce punched his way through.
Well, what a season Frank Bunce is having at international level. Forward replay. Outside Montgomery with the fend. Good speed. Beats Bennett. Inside to Yeremia, who had Dalton chasing. Too much speed, Alama Yeremia. Over by the posts. Here we see Bunce just drifting across the face of the Springbok back line. The fend Outside Montgomery, plenty of support there. Cullen on the outside, Yeremia on the inside, who he chose to use. Good try, All Blacks.
Well, Alama Yeremia gets his first starting game since the test match here in '94 against the Springboks. And he played alongside Frank Bunce that day too.
Interesting, that try came from a quick throw to the line-out. The All Blacks clearly want to speed the game up. Caught the Springboks napping. The result, a try.
So that one bounced away from an easy position. So Alama Yeremia's try is not converted. And here it is again, a great run by Frank Bunce.
Yeah, super run, Frank Bunce. He's been on fire in the All Black jersey this year, carrying on some good form of last year. Just got to say here, Carlos Spencer took the ball back too far at conversion time. That was his problem.
Well, the crowd stood as one and said, Bunce, you beaut. New Zealand leading by 8-7 against South Africa. What a game this has been.
Well claimed by Kronfeld there, and it's just tipped into touch from Teichmann.
Just disciplined work from the All Blacks. Good retrieval at kick-off time by Zinzanbrook. Super kick, Justin Marshall. Good chase, Umaga. All-round play. It's got them in a good position.
Fritz van Heerden, of course, gives South Africa a lot of height at the back now.
40 metres out, Robin Brook takes it in.
Ball retention's been pretty good by the black team.
They're looking for a complete 80-minute performance here today. They feel that they haven't put one into place yet, as Craig Dowd takes it ahead. One of the great favourites of this field, Zinzanbrook.
Turned over.
This is a turnover, and Honeyball bangs it behind Cullen. It's a deep kick by Cullen. Russell Bennett, his opposite number. They make a pass to Dalton. Now to Teichmann. Good attitude by the Springboks. They're not sitting it down and playing it with just muscle.
Stay on your feet all the time.
You can hear Derek Piven.
Beautiful Swansea accent.
He wants them on their feet all the time. And I agree with that, because that's when you get a good game of rugby. Turnover time. I've got to say, I thought Osteront coming from an offside position. But nevertheless, the Springboks took advantage down the blind side.
In terms of the front row, remember New Zealand front row having their 33rd game together, the Springboks having their 10th different front row combination in 2 seasons. So continuity favouring the All Blacks in there. Cullen. And that's another very good parallel kick. And I think Teichmann lost it in the sun there for a second. Bennett.
You can see the Springboks want to work the blind side.
Fitzpatrick takes it a tap. Gets some hard yards up. Did they go back 10 metres? Zinzan takes it forward again. Marshall kicking out wide. Alama Yeremia and James Small closest to it. New Zealand throw in. Or is it not?
No, Springbok throw in. But you can see the Springboks when they bring the ball back. They want to work it close to the touchline. They are very adept at using the blind side. Just the runners here from the All Blacks. Some good offensive tackling. Durant, who's been in a lot of play so far.
Crano Otto there, locking with Mark Andrews. Number 19 is Fritz van Heerden. One for Mark Andrews. Under Westhuizen, Gianni De Beer. Where's the bounce gone? It's gone to Tana Umaga. Spinning it to his great mate, Christian Cullen. Coming across to find space. Oh, a beautiful pass by Spencer to Wilson. But it's gone to the Springboks. Well done, Montgomery. And look at Frank Bunce. He's marked that Montgomery in the last 2 games, really giving him a tough time.
Well, Cullen was running right across towards where I'm sitting on the sideline. His eyes were wide open, and he had 3 players to beat. That was just a powerful fend, then the slipperiness, then the pace, and then a perfect pass for Spencer. And Wilson getting the 3rd. That was great work by the speedy New Zealand backs. Cullen puffing a little bit.
Well, Christian Cullen has kicked 2 balls back. Sooner or later he was going to run one. He chose the right one, I must say, and did it very well.
The cheering you hear is for a very quick change of shorts by Jeff Wilson. Maybe modesty prevented our cameras pointing that direction, I don't know.
The ones he took off will be up for auction somewhere, I suppose.
That's the point.
David Abercrombie's got them. He's always keen to make a dollar somewhere along the line.
Alami Urumia on the burst. It was a good flat pass, wasn't it, from Spencer. Gave him a chance to break through. Here they go again. Marshall. Zinzan Brook. Just shadowed his brother there to the halfway line. And again. Flat bump and run from Carlos Spencer. Now did his foot touch the sideline? The crowd down below at that point think that maybe Russell Bennett touched the sideline. Spinning it again. Here's Percy Montgomery having a go. A bad pass. A hard one to pick up for Tana Umaga.
Well, Wilson's shorts were not big enough for him. They're too tight, so they're getting a second view here today. Now they're better. Jeff Wilson gets a bigger pair of pants as we see this good defence. Excellent run here from Percival Montgomery. Not a great pass to end it.
Percival Owen Montgomery.
P.O.M. He's a POM.
There's another good flat pass. Whoa, that's got away from Tana Umaga onto the Springbok side. Now, how many turnovers that? Grant Fox looking a bit stern here and shaking his head. That's 3, I think. And the good works by the All Blacks to go up so close has now come back.
Yeah, there'll be a quiet word in Tana Umaga's ear, I'm sure. Ball retention is everything. The type of game the All Blacks want to play demands that the ball be looked after.
First quarter of the game is over, and Sean Fitzpatrick throws. Ian Jones catches. 8 points to 7. Pace hasn't slackened. Bunce caught this time by Montgomery. Straight out to Cullen again. He got monstered by about three of the green men. Big line up here near halfway. And it's a 3-on-1 now. Wilson. Good chase by Snyman.
He's grinning. Teichmann's grinning. Fitzpatrick doesn't even bother with it. There's a bit of friction out there, but they're really good campaigners, these guys.
Some good hands here by the All Blacks. Just a little bit flat, though. Jeff Wilson got the pass behind him, and that gave Snyman the chance to turn, chase, and catch him.
I've got to tell you, Jeff Wilson's torn shorts have gone to the ball boy.
John Macbeth on the sideline providing valuable insights today. One World of Sport commentary team, Keith Quinn and Grant Fox up top. 8 points to 7. New Zealand lead.
Did you see that?
Well, we could hear a lot of reference there, a little biblical reference there from somebody with a Kiwi accent. That's a sky ball to Ian Jones. Beautifully taken by Jones. And that's a penalty against Hannibal.
I know it's difficult, but you've got to hold off on the man.
Yeah, Honeyball apologised straight away. He knew he had made a mistake. Told referee Derek Bevan, "It's difficult, sir." He said, "I know." Nevertheless, that's what the law says. Spencer gets a chance for goal.
You can't catch a man when he's in the air.
You can't play him. You must let him come down. Just the dangerous play law, really.
Or compete for the jump. That's allowed, isn't it?
Absolutely. Which is the better option, I feel, because the chaser should come forward and compete anyway.
Derek Bevan said there was no malice intended.
Well, I've got to say, Henry Honeyball doesn't play the game that way. He's a hard competitor. He's a very quiet man, a very skillful rugby player too, but he doesn't play the game beyond the law at all.
There he is. He's had a couple of great games here in the Super 12 in the last couple of years. Honeyball, remember those big breaks up the centre for Northern Transvaal? Sorry, for Natal.
Yeah, his teammate Dick Muir, he and Dick Muir had a real combination going there in the midfield for Natal. Here's Spencer, 41 metres, maybe 42 with a slight angle, easily within his range.
There's a bit of a breeze here, Grant. Good thump.
Very good thump. And New Zealand extend their lead now to 11 points to 7. 24 minutes gone, first half.
Well, they all almost need suntan lotion here today. The sun is bright, it's warm. The conditions conducive to excellent running rugby, and that's what we've had so far. 23 minutes gone. New Zealand in front by 4. 11 points to 7.
And Yanni De Beer kicks out. And what a good game it's been so far. We hope you're enjoying it sitting back in the best seat in the house. Now, Russell Bennett, this man who's come into the team this year with the injuries to Andre Joubert. And that's 2 knock-ons.
So the idea was right from Russell Bennett. There was a little hole in behind the All Black defensive line. Couldn't quite gather it. The All Blacks have pretty much a midfield scrum. Blindside option on the left for Christian Cullen.
Fast ball at Cullen. Oh, he gets well tackled by Van der Westhuizen. Teichmann has got the bounce. Oh, sensational stuff from the Springbok captain. The bounce of the rugby ball helped. Fortune favours the brave and all that. And Gary Teichmann has his moment.
Well, a mistake made here by Christian Cullen, forward replay. Just watch him here. He tries to place the ball back. It bounced. He should have held that closer to his chest. Teichmann on the spot. Umaga had gone forward to support Cullen. He got a kind bounce. Did Teichmann over for the try.
Working the short side, the All Blacks trying to use that extreme pace of Cullen. Van der Westhuizen, an excellent tackle. Now, the support just wasn't quite there quickly enough, but as you said, Grant, he plonked the ball down a fair way out. It bounced up for Teichmann. And Randall couldn't nail him, just keep him close to the corner. Excellent try by the Springbok skipper.
Look at this again from Gary Teichmann. He scored a try in his test debut, but he's had 21 games, 21 tests in a row, hasn't got a second one until now. It's been under a bit of pressure. You know, they lose these games, and it's tough in South Africa. Come down hard on losing skippers and losing coaches, but that'll help him. Here's Yanni De Beer now with the conversion. So, the Springboks are back in the lead.
It's a seesaw game here at Eden Park in Auckland. Tri-Nations Rugby. South Africa started with a try, up by 7-0. Now they're back in front at 14-11. Carlos Spencer, the Springbok forwards, waiting for the restart. There it goes.
Mark Andrews takes it. 2 tries to 1 the Springboks have. James Small coming through very fast onto Cullen. Cullen's another one of these parallel kicks. Teichmann. That could have been close to a forward pass way back there, but the referee was 50 metres away.
30,000 people here thought it was.
De Beer deep for the corner now.
The Springboks don't want to play the game in their own half at all. De Beer is looking for the corners. He believes the Springboks' best chance to get points is when they're deep in All Black territory. You can't disagree with that attitude.
It's one for Fritz van Heerden. That's off a New Zealand throw, so the Springboks are going well here. There's Honeyball, De Beer again. Montgomery, and up and under towards the post. It's an pass, and it's a try for Montgomery. The rugby ball does crazy things. That's why the game is such a great one. You never know what's coming next. Slightly hesitant by Cullen, and look at the bounce.
Yeah, forward replay. Defence on Honeyball was good. This really was a bit of hit and hope, but a good chase. Ball just out of Cullen's reach. Bounce kindly for Montgomery. The Springboks go further into the lead.
Yes, it was. It was high and it was hopeful. And Cullen, the bounce was, he just couldn't quite get there. And in comes Montgomery. And there you see, Percy points at the posts.
Very good, John.
Yeah, just sort of came out, you know. Yep.
Very good kicker. De Beer makes no mistakes. And the Springboks have 3 converted tries in the first half hour. Percy Montgomery, the young man who began this season hoping to make the South African juniors, and now he's in the white-hot atmosphere of Tri-Nations rugby and scores a try.
South Africans gunning for their first victory in the Phillips Tri-Nations series. Also looking for a bonus point, just 1 try away from that. 21-11.
Don't leave him. There's the kick deep to keep New Zealand back. That's the tactic. Making Cullen move about quite a bit today. Big reply by Cullen. And a quick throw in back there. It was actually out. A very good kick. Van der Best has it. Dalton plays scrum half. De Beer caught by Kronfeld. And intercept now by Cullen. Alava Jeremiah, 22 metres. To the right. Cullen, Wilson, Umanga. Spencer. They love him on this ground. And why not? This All Black team refuses to lie down.
Replay, forward replay. Turnover, Springboks a little earlier. This was just good hands. Umanga looking for work on the right wing. Spencer, who was out there anyway. That's a familiar sight at Eden Park.
Could you ask for anything better than this? In the first half of this game, great hands, well set up. Spencer doubling up outside Eremia. Umanga and getting the excellent try. 2 tries to the All Blacks now.
5 in total, John.
Oh.
Inside of, what, 31 minutes, just over 31 minutes gone. 5 tries. Quite amazing for a test match between these 2 nations.
We've had 3 tries in the last 5 minutes.
The All Blacks needed to hit back and hit back quickly. Don't want the Springboks to get out too far. And this test match is just going backwards and forwards. One side's got some dominance for a wee period of time, then the other one gets some ascendancy. That's the view for Spencer. There's a little easterly breeze blowing into him, so he'll need to aim this pretty much on the right upright, possibly a little outside it, and let it drift back.
He didn't hit it well. It didn't stay on the right side. No conversion. Spencer's try, 21-16. They're within reach, though, with another converted try. And let's have a look at that.
Well, his head came up very, very quickly. Really just planted that left foot. Tried to give it a decent old bang. Opened his left shoulder, and that's the result.
The All Blacks now ready to receive the ball once again. Not allowing the Springboks to get too far away. It's 21-16. Tri-Nations Rugby on One World of Sport.
See those big shadows, the sun sinking there. The New Zealanders will face the sun in the second half. There's one straight to Russell Bennett.
Leave it! Number 8, stay your feet, you're diving in.
Zinzan Brook penalised there.
Yeah, he saw an opportunity. Russell Bennett had come forward on the All Blacks side. Zinzan Brook tried to seal the ball off for the All Blacks, but he left his feet.
10 meters.
So the All Blacks have been pinged a couple of times for this. Here we see the run, the excellent tackle by Olo Brown and also Josh Cromfeld. And there you see the Springboks standing their arms out, saying to the ref, hey, that's a penalty. So it's 5 for New Zealand, 3 plus 1 free kick for South Africa. Pretty close.
Andrews pulls it down. Crano Otto is number 4. Dalton number 2. James Norton never been in a losing Springbok team when he started the match. There's Andre Snyman, number 11. There's the dropping from De Beer. But this is not a repeat of Ellis Park. This one's away to the left. Cullen.
And he's dangerous with that boot. He loves to drop them.
He just sat on his heel a little bit. Dragged it to the left. Didn't miss by much.
Yes, he got a drop kick at Ellis Park, but he also missed one. Claimed here by Andre Fenter, number 7. There's that kick again, awkward kick. The big hands of Ian Jones claim it. And now the kick is from Justin Marshall. Right down into pressure corner. And Bennett has to play it out. And he gives it to James Small. And he finds the line from the middle of the field.
A little discussion between Russell Bennett and James Small. James Small had a lot of ground in front of him, and I think Bennett was surprised he didn't take the opportunity to run. Short line out All Blacks. Look for Zinzan Brook as a runner off Justin Marshall.
Spinning it out this time to Tane Randall into space. Cullen. Beautiful. Beautiful try. They worked it out before the throw-in.
Well, they don't come much sweeter than this forward replay. You don't often score tries off set piece. Brook was the dummy on the inside. Randall took an inside pass off Bunce. Set Cullen up beautifully, who had too much speed. Just watch this. Off the top from Jones. Marshall, there's Brook, you can see. The ball went Spencer straight to Bunce across 2 players inside to Randall. Snyman, in fact, Small came off his wing. Cullen over in the corner.
You know, you see them at these training sessions, Grant, and they practice these moves when there's no one else on the field in opposition. There's one, but they did it as they would have done it at practice, and there was no opposition.
Well, they don't come much sweeter, as I said. Set play tries or set piece tries at this level don't happen very often. That move was absolutely pure.
Christian Cullen, 16 tests played and now 16 tries. This is his 17th test.
It's a great record, isn't it?
Tremendous record. This one's more like it. 21 all becomes 23-21 to the All Blacks. Look at this again.
Yeah, just 2 wide passes. You see Small was in trouble. He had come in. It was actually Bennett who had to come inside to get Tane Randall, and that left Christian Cullen with space.
Well, Tane Randall's pace as a loose forward was shown to its fullest extent again there. And he had a man outside him who was even quicker, Christian Cullen. The All Blacks back in front at 23-21.
3 tries each. Oh, there's a big sort of hit by Crano Otto on Randall. OK, he was in an offside position. They'll let that one go. Frank Bunce has slipped his man again. Cullen on another run. Very good tackle by Russell Bennett. Dalton, here's Small, out to Montgomery.
Come forward, Blacks from there.
Oh, how's this?
And they've still got 43 minutes to go. There's so much pace in this.
Well, it's a good move to put the ball in Bunce's hand straight from Spencer and get Cullen running off him with a short ball, and that put him in space that time.
So here they go again. Marshall, Jeremiah, that's probably a lot of his reason for being selected. Takes the tackle there at second 5/8. Bunce again. He takes the tackle off the carpet. Flat pass to Cullen. Backing up Azumanga. Bursting the tackles. Wilson to the corner. 22-metre line. Kronfeld. Craig down. Olo Brown. Marshall's taken the tap. Hands it on. And the referee is going back for the original penalty. Not being back 10 metres, it's a second penalty, in fact.
Yeah, the gamble was right.
Different ball.
They knew the Springboks were not back to 10 metres, so it was worth the tap and go on the right.
Well, I think this might be a sign that this game has been very fast, hasn't it? A chance just to breathe, suck in a bit of air. And just going back to that last move, Grant, how did Jeff Wilson, he was at full flight, suddenly stopped dead? Here we go. Umanga. Here goes Randall, quick hands to Wilson. Look at that, stopping dead. Back in field, Randall, the forwards just getting heavily involved. Kronfeld, and then we saw the tight boys. Dowd, first of all. Brown, the pick up and the drive on a bit further. Just marvellous play.
Yeah, Bunce here he spotted a hole. He was trying to go over between the sticks, and the Springbok defenders converged on him.
The New Zealand captain, Sean Fitzpatrick, has made the tactical decision here to go for points. It's a good one. Let's see if Spencer can push New Zealand out to a 5-point advantage at the break. It hits the post. Free kick taken.
Mark! He called the mark. Back 10.
That's a rarity, Grant, a free kick off the post.
No, a mark off the post, and you can do that.
It's a rarity.
Great presence of mind by Percy Montgomery it was. You can mark the ball if it comes off.
He didn't kick it. He didn't kick it. He didn't kick it. He might move forward. Oh, that's half-time. That's a little bit cruel for the All Blacks. They're going to have to put in there. But what a first half we've seen. Percy Montgomery's had it up and down time. Got the try that put the Springboks into the lead. But there's been 6 glorious tries this half. And lots more to come. Stay with us. New Zealand leading South Africa at Eden Park by 23-21.
Welcome back. We're at Eden Park where it's half-time in this pulsating Tri-Nations match between the All Blacks and South Africa. The All Blacks just in front by 23 points to 21. So they lead on the points table. Let's have a look at some of the interesting statistics of this first half. The line-out's fairly even. Rucks and Mauls favouring the All Blacks by 22-14, and the All Blacks just having an edge in territory and possession. But, of course, the most important thing is that they lead by 23 points to 21. And Wayne Graham, really, it has been a very interesting first half. A few mistakes. Tactically, do you think the All Blacks are doing it right at the moment?
Well, they've had their moments. The All Blacks are attacking brilliantly, of course. It's just once or twice they seem to lose control. When Cullen came up the blind side, lost the ball, and the Springboks, Teichmann scored in the other corner. It's those little things that are really costing the All Blacks, and they've got to cut them out of their game. But attacking, absolutely brilliant, and they can score tries from anywhere from 30, 40, 50 metres out. So I think that's where they've got to play the game, just run at the Springboks.
Okay, so 23 points to 21. The Springboks have been in front. The All Blacks have come back. But at half-time, it is the All Blacks in front through this try by Christian Cullen. Now, this was absolutely brilliant, Wayne.
Right, it's explosive too, and it's the angles that, as Tane Randall came in, fed it to Cullen, who had the pace, and in he goes.
There we are. So Christian Cullen getting those points, 23 points to 21. Now, there are some marvellous rugby memorabilia, some pieces of rugby history up available for sale at the moment. And, of course, we've had plenty of them here on One World of Sport. Here's another one of them.
93, 94 and 95 miniature jersey releases were sold out. 97s are here. Phone 0800 NZ All Black. That's 0800 612 552 now.
Let's rejoin Grant Fox and Keith Quinn.
Yes, there they are, getting set for the second 40 minutes. High drama in the first half, as John Macbeth has mentioned. It's a lovely afternoon. It's certainly shirt sleeves in the crowd. And the players really firing up and giving us a treat, giving us pearls this afternoon at Eden Park. And the outcome is very much in doubt as referee Derek Bevan of Wales signals the beginning of the second half. It's Tri-Nations rugby. You've got the One World of Sport commentary team. And Tana Umaga goes up hard and takes the tackle. He says he loves to feel the crunch. And he certainly felt it then. Spencer's kicked a touch away on the far side. It's New Zealand playing into the sun in the second half. Here's former All Black Grant Fox.
Yeah, the sun is quite difficult as Umaga receives the ball. He goes as hard, in hard and gets driven back hard. But the All Blacks at kick-off time were shielding their eyes. So that sun will be quite a problem if Yanni De Beer puts the odd ball in the air.
The chant goes up, All Blacks.
Well, that's the second time the referee's called that one. He's saying, get it right, New Zealanders, for the throw-in. It seemed to me a possibility of a delay by James Dalton. And a good run down there by Andre Schneemann. He was only one tackle away from heading straight for the corner.
Well, that's the speciality of Jos van der Westhuizen. Little wee blind sides. He knows how to exploit him, and he nearly put Schneemann away.
The first line out of the second half. Fitzpatrick throws deep to a Ian Jones catch. Here's one Schneemann is waiting for. He's a very fast, aggressive player, played in the centres against New Zealand last year. Van der Westhuizen. Straight through the hands of De Beer. Honeyball tidies up. And now here's Cullen from the back. Having a crack from the back. Halfway line. Jeremiah.
Jeff Wilson's down.
Craig Dowd. New Zealand one man down at the moment. Wilson not in action on the far side, so they bring it to this side. Chip ahead by Jeremiah. And was he taken out? Honeyball begins a counter-attack, but he was taken out. And here's an early chance second half. This is against Crenell Otto. Wilson is down, though.
And Christian Cullen is also limping. He's got an ankle injury to his left ankle.
Wilson just pulled up very smartly, clutching his leg and then limped to the sideline. And they're working vigorously to get him back. Scott McLeod warms up. Doesn't look too healthy there for Christian Cullen either.
Well, that was a touch judge call that Derek Bevan went off then, I'm sure.
David Abercrombie working hard there. Here's Scott McLeod, the headgear in place. Came back into the reserves for this game.
He smiled then because Andrew Mertens had said something humorous to him, I think.
So a warm-up now for McLeod. John Hart has come out of the stand. Spencer's lined up for the shot at goal. It's all happening here. 4 minutes second half.
time with the bounce of the ball. It hit the crossbar and sneaked across.
Well, this is the problem with this tall tee, in my opinion. Spencer gets right under it, and that's over by about 6 inches.
Well, a bit of luck there for New Zealand. Jeff Wilson stays on the field, so too does Cullen. 26 points to 21, the All Blacks over the Springboks.
But they've got Umaga out on the right wing side, and he's on the chase this time from the kick by Marshall. Snyman waiting. You see how Umaga waited for him to come down. The South Africans have a chance here to be a kick. Oh, that was a chance to run it, I think. Umaga, Randall now backing up winger Umaga. Cullen. Bennett.
The crowd thought Cullen was taken down late. The referee says play on.
Here they go again. Tana Umaga runs it straight arrow to the 22. Cullen joins for the maul here, and now Cullen's a scrum half. Zinzan Brook. 3 tries each. Marshall. Bunce running back towards a whole pile of bodies there. And here's an easier kick for New Zealand. You see it's handy to the posts. And I think offside by the Springboks in the lineup there as the ball was spinning right.
It was on the blind side, I'm sure. Or it actually, in fact, here it is here. It's on the open side, just behind Derek Bevan. He must have got a touch judge call because he had his back turned. You can see his arm out for advantage there as Bunce takes the ball back the blind side. Ran out of support players, really. The advantage is over at this stage for the All Blacks. And Derek Bevan goes back for the penalty.
Well, there's Jeff Wilson. He's not quite 100% again, but back in the game. This is a critical kick. It put New Zealand out past the 7-point cushion. Which means the Springboks will have to score twice to get the lead back in this seesaw struggle. So that is a vital one by Spencer. And New Zealand now are 29, and the Springboks are 21.
So New Zealand stretching that lead to 8 points. Frank Bunce playing a major role this afternoon. The All Blacks leading 29 points to 21, but still a bit of concern over their number 14, Jeff Wilson. The restart from De Beer.
Taken by Honeyball. There's Robin Brook onto Dalton. Van der Westhuizen. Tysman's having a good game today. Mark Andrews, Natal teammates there. Tackled by Sean Fitzpatrick. Oh, he gets one in the face there, and someone is going to be called out. The New Zealand captain took one right in the mouth, and the South Africans think he's playing it up. And he's off, I think. He's off. I think Andre Fenta has been sent off. A red card is out. Andre Fenta. You'll have a look at the left-hand side here and see the face of Fitzpatrick. He takes one straight on the face. There it is.
Have a look at another angle here. Here comes Fenta. Well, pretty hard for us to pick up a number, but the referee was clearly cited.
We'll have to have a look and see if we can see actually. Just a little thought in my mind that it wasn't exactly clear who did the sending, who did the damage.
Well, of course, our angle wasn't particularly good here, but Derek Bevan was right behind play.
Advantage for New Zealand. The Springboks now with 14 men. They're in trouble. 28-21.
So we're going to have another look at this. That's the reaction of Sean Fitzpatrick. And Andrews pushed at him as if to say, get up.
I'll tell you what, Mark Andrews is getting a bit fiery. He's going to need to watch himself. The touch judge is in.
Player comes to the ball with shoulders, without playing the ball.
Do you know the number?
Penalty, no.
You don't know?
Penalties against green.
Okay.
Penalties, as Joel Dume says in his French accent.
By the touch judge, penalty block here. Back 10 meters now.
Words there between the two captains.
Well, on the sideline, Andre Venter has just realised that he's been sent off. He didn't realise he'd been given the red card. So he's looking very dejected at the moment.
Well, I'd like to congratulate referee Derek Bevan for that action there. You can't have stomping and kicking in the game. And he's made a decisive action for the whole rugby world to watch, sending a player off the field in disgrace. And there he is, Andre Venter. He's had a very good season, but it's over for this game for the big number 7.
Carlos Spencer had a look for goal right on halfway, decided against it. He's had a good touch instead.
Josh Cromfeld stays on the field. He's a little bit slow getting to the line-out. Charlie Rickelman was warming up. But Cromfeld's back in the fray.
Big pass out to Bunce in the centres. New Zealand ought not to get too frivolous here. Now that they've got the advantage of one man, Krano Otto to Van der Westhuizen. A loose ball, Zinzanbroek. He bangs it down to the corner. Let's see where it goes. It might come all the way back to halfway. No. It's touchdown, start from the 22.
Perfectly weighted, but I think there are options on the hand. All the Springboks had gone to the left of that last ruck, and when the charge down came, they had no defenders on their right.
Second Springbok ever sent off in a test match out of their own country. Remember in the World Cup, James Dalton was marked in a big fracas with Canada. James Small was sent off in Australia a few years ago, but back chat on a referee there. Andre Venter sent off here today.
Rickelman remains, yes, he's still warming up. Cromfeld stays on.
So half an hour still to play in the game. Fitzpatrick throws, taken by Randall. Time to look around at the top of the jump and see who's going to lead the drive. And it's Robin Brook with it now. Advantage being called by referee, is it? No, he's got his hand out, just out of the picture. There he is. Honeyball, and he's hurried that way. Things not going too well for the Springboks in the second half.
No, they haven't started well. The All Blacks have had the better of the first nearly 12 minutes. The second half of this match.
But, Grant, you know what often happens when a team is one player down? They sometimes just lift their rate so much that they play better. Springboks haven't managed that yet.
Two coaches there, Carol Duplessis and John Hart.
Now look at this line out there. Justin Marshall at the front of the line out. Zinzanbroek at halfback.
And a first aid man in the middle.
This is a new tactic. Krano Otto getting some attention.
Springbok again. Honeyball.
Carlos Spencer that time. Come forward too quickly. Got a touch judge call. Once again, Derek Bevan acting on that.
And that's an exact repetition of the kick Spencer put in from the same place early in the game.
There's a hex on that part of the ground.
You see the South Africans urging each other on. They know that they're down on momentum here in the second half after that very spirited first half they put in, including the shocks at the start and 2 tries in a row in the middle. Zinzanbrook hit Honeyball with a great chest high tackle then. Teichmann, Montgomery, halfway line. Wilson caught by Bennett. Bunce. A very good tackle by Honeyball. Now Kronfeld and Montgomery. Got to his feet. Josh Kronfeld. Zinzanbrook takes the tap. Straight into Teichmann. That was a hard hit on Teichmann. He's getting up slowly, the Springbok captain. Big pass to Bunce. To Alama Yeremia. To Randall. Bunce again. His 50th test. And looking tremendous again this afternoon. Cullen up. To the bottom of the picture, just down here to the bottom, is Zinzanbrook on the ground. So play swinging to the other side. Zinni was in a hard hit with Teichmann. Holo Brown puts in a sidestep on Marius Herta. Hands through by Carlos. Cullen picks it up. It's a wave of black attack. Christian Cullen gives it to his captain. Long period of play. Will it end with something? Kronfeld. Van der Westhuizen's tackle. Marshall's try.
Don't the crowd love it? It had to come. Wave after wave of All Black attack. Forward replay. The pressure was too much. The All Black ball retention was superb. This is the beginning of it. There is a number of phases that came after this. Frank Bunt's been in the middle of everything today. Here's the last ruck. Kronfeld playing at 5'8". Dummied, slipped, got up. Van der Westhuizen, great covering tackle. The wave came in behind. Justin Marshall picked it up. Olo Brown on support, just drove him over the line.
Superb try. Marshall and Kronfeld. Kronfeld again has been everywhere. A deft dummy, and then the gap opened up. He was well grabbed by Van der Westhuizen. Then Marshall, and look at the forward. That's Olo Brown just shoving him a little way. The kick is over. The All Blacks extend their lead by another 7, 36-21.
And it's a record score in the long history between the Springboks and the All Blacks. That's the highest score either side has posted. 36 points. It beats the record set 3 weeks ago. But look at this. Zinzanbrook is off the field. His head is open. But I tell you what, it looks like he wants to come back into the fray.
Well, there was a lot of blood on his head as he came off to be replaced by Rickelman. And Zinzanbrook, I think, is already saying, get me back on if I can. He can stay on off for as long as he likes in a Budman.
Grant, I'd like to ask you a question. Do you think that try, with its continuous flow, continuous pressure, was a result of the 15 against 14 balance in the game?
Ultimately, the numbers have got to tell, but really that was just a missed tackle. It wasn't like there was an overlap on the flank at all. It just came from Kronfeld turning on the inside and the tackle's not being made there.
Big work in the scrum. They've only got a 7-man scrum there. You see Murray has hurt it, working hard on the tight head side. And there's good play by Van der Westhuizen, but he knocked it on. Have a look at Murray's hurter at the next scrum. You see this knock on here by Joost van der Westhuizen. But Murray's hurter there in the front row on the right side is actually only brought into the Springbok test team for matches against the All Blacks. He played 5 tests now against the All Blacks in the last 2 years and has not been picked for any other game. So he's an All Black specialist in the South African team.
Well, I think we might see a new hairstyle from Zinzambrook after this. The hair will come off when they rip all that tape.
I seem to remember him scoring a try here against Western Samoa a couple of years back. John, with tape all over him.
Yes, it never seems to slow him down, Keith.
Isn't there a famous shot of him too in Sydney one time with blood all over his face and the big bandage? Well taken by Fritz van Heerden, the replacement early on for Kruger. They've had some unfortunate occurrences today, South Africa. They're still trying, but there's the double hit on Montgomery and he got through. De Beer, Tushman, Dalton. Yanni De Beer, straight at Randall. Gary Tushman showing a lot of muscle here. Attacked by Joost. He's a dangerous man in this situation. Those explosive burst out of the blocks. James Small continues to drive.
Into your own man there, you're just driving in. Drop ball.
Accidentally offside for James Small.
Well, their idea was right. He had no halfback. He had to go in and help.
Crouch. Hold ready.
Coming for Marshall again. He's made his own break out of the blocks. Spencer. Cullen. Cullen away. Oh, that's a foul by James Small. He must go as well. He tried to foot trip him on the line. The try has been scored, but we might not hear the end of that.
Well, Justin Marshall, forward replay, he started this. Spencer in support. Cullen, the short ball off Spencer, just chopping back against the cover defence that was coming to the right. Small there has earned a yellow card for that. That's a super try to Christian Cullen.
Let's have a look and see if... look at James Small here.
Quite clearly, Small knew he'd lost the race. And a deliberate attempt at a foot trip, and he's been yellow carded. 5 tries to the All Blacks.
Just look at this. Carlos has got the ball, in my opinion, just leaning back a little bit, which is a real no-no. Perhaps he hasn't noticed it.
It's through from the handy position. Another 7-pointer. Great run by Marshall, kicked it off.
Absolutely. Spencer linking. The real speed merchants together there, Spencer and Cullen. Once Cullen had beat it and gone back the other way, or the other side of the cover defence, no one could stop him.
17 test matches and 17 tries for the Paikokariki Express.
Well, a real battle of the speedsters there. New Zealand well out in front now. 43-21.
And in the Tri-Nations point scoring, they take a bonus point for 5 tries now. Cullinan again. Wilson.
Just a forward pass there, the ball going forward from Frank Bunce's hands. Some good fluent play from the All Black back line. A little cutout from Eremia, hitting hard, Bunce looping. ball going just in front of Tana Umaga.
You see the way the Springboks have formed their scrum now. They've got number 21, Naka Drotsky, onto the field. Another replacement.
Yanni De Beers off. Honourable's gone into first 5-8.
Well, that's a clear indication.
Snyman at second 5-8 now.
It's a clear indication that they've got to take the ball to the attack to the All Black defensive line, and Honeyball will do that on shore.
So Honeyball at first 5, Snyman at second. Montgomery keeps his place. Russo on the wing. There it is in action. Snyman gets a good break. 43-21.
Get away! Back feet!
Naka Drotsky, the hooker, playing on the flank now, being subbed onto the game. He has been a flanker in a lot of his rugby. So here's Umaga now to Cullen. Big kick. Montgomery. Bennett. Kronfeld. And that was Rousseau, number 16 through.
See Zinzan Brook back on, but Charlie Rickelman stays on because Zinzan brother Robin is off getting some attention to a head wound as well.
It's about the third or fourth wicket Zinzan Brooks put on today. His tackling is really fierce.
So Rickelman on, and Robin Brook waiting to get back on. Zinzan Brook to Marshall, to Tana Umaga, steps inside small. Another converted try will bring up 50 for the All Blacks against the Springboks. Fitzpatrick to Dowd. The Springboks are spread wide here, although they're grouped now. Knocked down and knocked forward.
Well, you can feel it coming, can't you? I mean, they're 22 points ahead already, and you can really feel that the All Blacks are going to really ram this one home. Umaga, first chance he's had really in space this afternoon. Turned his opposite inside out. Bennett, who I think has been the Springboks' best player, stopped him in his tracks.
Courageous man back at fullback, Russell Bennett.
Keep your hand off the floor.
There's Carol Duplessis under real pressure now as the Springbok coach. He has had a policy of rebuilding. He's been trying to find a balance between the experience and the new players with the 99 World Cup in mind. But the way they turn over their coaches in South African rugby, his job right on the line now. He's only beaten Tonga and the British Isles in a dead test this season. And now Tane Randall scores again for New Zealand. John Hart looking anxiously across the field as there is a disagreement going on at the scrum.
Well, big scrum, All Blacks. Forward replay. They've had the wood on the Springbok scrum for 2 years now. It's just sheer weight there. Brook saw the chance inside to Randall. He gets just reward. He's worked well this afternoon. Just look at this. You don't see that very often. The ball, Fitzy didn't even have to strike. It just rolled under his feet as the weight came in, and Randall gets the try.
Well, what spoiled all that was from after the scrum, after the try had been scored, the front row stayed up and they were hammer and tong at it as we see Zinzan Brook feeding Tane Randall. Simple try. But as we see Fitzpatrick next up in a shot, you'll see he's receiving attention here to a cut around the nose or the lip. And he was a bit upset, I've got to tell you. We see substitution. It looks as though Andrew Mertens is going on for Carlos Spencer after this kick at goal.
It's on its way, and can you believe it? The All Blacks have rattled up 50 against South Africa. That's never been scored against the Springboks by any country. And Spencer goes to the sideline, where he takes congratulations from his teammates and a massive ovation
from the faithful here at Eden Park. And Andrew Mertens is on.
A delay to the kickoff here at Eden Park as Sean Fitzpatrick is slow getting back. He's just had some attention to a cut, but he has led this All Black team to the 50 mark against South Africa. 50 points to 21. Andrew Mertens on.
And it's a compliment to the man himself who's captaining the team in his 50th Test match today, and he's got a plug in his nose to celebrate it. And a compliment too to the 50th Test in Auckland and the 50th Test of Frank Bunce.
You're going to see the All Blacks run everything here. They're set up. Mertens is on the left. Let's look at that scoreline. 50 points in a Test match against South Africa. That's incredible. Backs outside Mertens. They're looking to attack.
And still got the best part of 13 minutes to go, 12 or 13 minutes to go. Just a tussle of the hair that time from James on Jeff Wilson. I think there was a little bit of a discussion about who got the throw in here.
Well, this is like running back when one's been skied over your head, isn't it? Wilson reaches out and he nearly took a beauty.
Well, I don't think South Africa should have got the throw in there. It came off the thigh of James Small when it was rolling towards the touchline. What do they say? All's fair in love and war. And this has been a battle that's been raging today, but has echoed down rugby followers in both countries for 70 years plus. And there's never been a score like this. Previously, the margin's only been about 11 points in any test between these two teams. We've got to remember that New Zealand has the advantage of 15 players on the field to 14. After Andre Venter took a shower while the water was still warm. And that's enabled New Zealand to really hammer it home.
Here we see Andrews getting very high. Their premier line-out jumper trying to go forward. The All Blacks there just a hand in, trying to rip the ball away.
We should also remember here that in the Tri-Nations Championship, New Zealand in an unbeatable position now.
Josh Krompeld in there making another tackle. Every time he gets to his feet, he looks as though he's been shot, but he's back into it straight away.
Rousseau to Andrews. Oz, Peter Durant, and he collided with James Dalton. They've done it again. Accidentally offside, that's called.
Mertens, I think, is looking for Christian Cullen, who's gone to the left.
Bennett, there's that awkward bounce again. A very good kick by Marshall.
Marshall's kicking game is absolutely superb.
I was just going to say that, John. It's been absolutely on the button today. Very, very accurate indeed. He's clearly put a lot of practice in, and he's got the ball on a string.
So Justin Marshall with his Canterbury teammate Andrew Mertens in the action today. Montgomery at halfway. Grotsky. And here comes a try for the Springboks.
And a bonus point.
And a bonus point for them. 50 to 26. His 70th try and test himself.
Well, this is how dangerous Henny Honeyball is. Forward replay. He took the ball right to the line and dragged the All Black defence right across. Montgomery on the cutback inside. Went inside Krompeld and Mertens. Drotsky gave it to the faster man, Van der Westhuizen. Clear under the line. The Springboks are not going to give up yet.
Van der Westhuizen's try is converted by Henry Honeyball, and it's 50-28.
I think you'll hear the bull roar in a moment as Bull Allen gets the call. He goes onto the field in place of Craig Dowd, but the All Blacks now well in control at 50 points to 28. Fine try from Van der Westhuizen. Andrew Mertens ready to restart. There he is.
The Bull is on. This is where he made his debut. He's never ever played a full test, Bull, but he's into his 5th time on the field in a test as a replacement, as a substitute. Here's James Small kicking ahead. Marshall and Small back. Two feisty characters of rugby. And there's a big ball to the middle of the field to Mertens. And Bunce has got Wilson with him. It's Wilson versus Bennett. Mertens to Alama Yeremia. Bunce the big hand off Robin Brook now. And you hear the chant for Bull goes up just because he's near the ball. Beautiful pass by Wilson. Good pass by Mertens. Umanga. Not called as a forward pass. Zinzanbrook. And lost forward on the line. What a tribute that would have been for the Prince of Eden Park, Sean Fitzpatrick and Zinzanbrook.
Well, the All Blacks are on fire. All the forwards were lined up here. The backs had gone to the ruck. The forwards thought, well, it's about time you did that and did some of the hard work. They were standing out on the left. Zinzanbrook nearly finished it off. Look at Marshall, presence of mind here. He was looking for Cullen. That option was cut off. Mertens looking for his outside. Bunce in space. Wilson, I'm surprised he didn't try his specialty, which is a chip and chase here. They have a policy of keeping the ball in hand. Look at all the backs in here. Couple of forwards. Bull's over there. He's fresh. But all the forwards are lined out to the left. Wilson at half-back. Mertens the wide ball. Marshall, the backs on the inside. The forwards on the outside of the Umanga was carrying that up. You can see Jones and Brook, Fitzpatrick and Randall, they're all out there. Brook thought his momentum would carry him across. Good defence in the end by the Springboks.
The build-up was tremendous. The Springboks make a change in the front row. Herta is off.
So they put Nakadrosky to do the whole of the flank forward's job here, the ex-hooker. And so he's covering the narrow side.
Get your hand off the floor! Get your hand off the floor!
Ah, well, that's interesting. Olo Brown penalised for putting his hand down on the floor.
Well, it's better than a scrum collapsing, that's all I've got to say. I think that's a bit of a nonsense rule. As touch is missed.
Play on from the catch. Tana Umanga. Well fielded by Yeremia. There's Alama again. An advantage, is it, from the referee? Flat pass. Kronfeld. Eden Park giving a good version of the bull roar. It hit the referee.
Flat scrum. Next match.
It was all happening a bit quickly for Derek Bevan. Wave after wave of runners. Marshall looked for Kronfeld. The moment the ball touches the referee, the whistle must be blown.
Great job. Scrum. Hold. Hand off the floor.
5 minutes left in the game. 50-28. Marshall, Cullen in. Tana Umanga for the line with Van der Westhuizen. Tana.
Set piece try again. Van der Westhuizen, fatal mistake as he watched the forward replay. He went in to try and stop the clearance. He needs to stay on Marshall, and it was pretty simple stuff from here on in, although Tana Umanga had a little bit of work to do, and he did it very well. See Van der Westhuizen, he went in on Brook. That left Marshall in space, and it was a matter of just working the numbers in the end.
Very good effort by Joost van der Westhuizen to get across for the second grab in the tackle. Well, there's Tana Umanga. You see the little white thing in his hair. You're probably wondering what that is. It's just the little mark of his hairdresser. Just leaves a little bit in there. to as a little signal that it's his or maybe her work in the dreadlocks. Josh Kronfeld also carrying a little mark on his head too. It's a huge scar under there, 17 stitches or 14 stitches.
Well, he's got a new pair of shorts on, and guess who's got the torn ones?
John McBeth.
Absolutely.
You're a millionaire.
Yes.
Well spotted. Now this is good. Andrew Mertens is back on, and I'm sure a lot of people in Canterbury will be very pleased to see him back in the Test team. He's had to wait patiently while the momentum of the first 5 position is with Carlos Spencer. But let's watch this kick, because we know how good Mertens is.
Just drifted left. Well, Tana Umaga gets a try, and there have been a lot of tries for the All Blacks this afternoon. 7 in all against 4 by the Springboks. A 23-21 lead has been extended to 55-28. Only 2 points in it at half-time, but the All Blacks have really zipped it up in the second spell.
There's been some great battles over the years here in the Springbok New Zealand series, and there's an old-fashioned centering kick by Zinzanbroek. Peter Rousseau. Look, he's been thrown down by Andrew Mertens. Well done by the Canterbury man. Kronfeld. He's going to open it up to Marshall. And that's one that's gone to Montgomery. Now Snyman. He's going to go all the way. Mertens makes another miracle tackle. And so does Marshall. Randall on Montgomery. That's tremendous defence. They drive for the line. The Springboks are not done. They're playing with all the pride and passion we know they've got. And it's Peter Rousseau who's going to get the try.
Well, they won't give up, the Springboks. They keep coming back. Forward replay. Pretty good defence from the All Blacks initially. Snyman goes through the middle. Mertens chases him, gets him. Randall, that's Marshall actually, first tackle. Randall in for the next one. And then it was just numbers on the left. Honeyball taking it to the line. So very, very good at that. And Rousseau dances round nearer the post.
The kick is over. The try by Rousseau is converted. And the game is over. Sean Fitzpatrick on his 50th game as the captain, and his team has passed 50 points as a compliment to him. 55-35. What a game we've seen today. 12 tries, 7-5 it finished up. We had it to 35, and we're going to go down now to the sideline, to the side of the field, for the interviews with the captains in today's
every game
game
against South Africa is tough, Sean, and I would imagine that you think this one was just as tough as the rest of them.
Well, definitely in the first half. They got into us a bit. It was a bit disappointing in the first half because we wanted to go out and express ourselves, and it was a great day, and we haven't done it all year. But I was very pleased in the second half that we managed to dot down a few tries and show what we're capable of.
I think the crowd was delighted with this effort. So many tries, some brilliant play this afternoon.
It was, and we knew that in the second half to pick the pace up, and we saw them walking a bit in the first half. But in the first half, we were just doing enough to keep in front. And in the second half, the Type 5 got into the game, and Cully got going, and Ua got involved, and had good fun. That's what we wanted to play today. We wanted to express ourselves and enjoy ourselves.
You were in the wars a wee bit today?
Well, always are against South Africa, but yeah, it was a physical game, and I think they bring the best of us, bring the best of us out, and just pleased to get it over and done with.
The crowd loved it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I think all of New Zealand was right into it, and I'm sure the people at home watching on TV are as excited as the people are here.
Still a game to go, but you've already won the Tri Nations. You've got to lift that heavy cup again.
I don't know. I think Australia's still got a chance if they win next week, because I hope they won't. And then they've got an opportunity in Africa to square, I suppose.
Hey, great stuff, Sean. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, it was great stuff. It was 23-21 at half-time, and the battle-scarred Zinzanbrook leaves his park. By word, that's a fearsome sight, isn't it? We've seen that before a few times over the years from Zinzan. And we're going down to the sideline now to hear the reaction from the Springbok captain, Gary Teichmann. And let's see what he's got to say.
Gary, you must be very disappointed with that result.
Yeah, for sure. I think we sort of built up this game. We wanted to prove that the game against Australia was a bad game, and I thought at half-time we were in with a shot.
Certainly started very well.
Yeah, you know, the guys were committed, and unfortunately, you know, you got to play this game for 80 minutes, and the second half just went astray.
Didn't help losing a man 10 minutes into the second half.
No, for sure. You know, playing All Blacks with 15 men is hard enough. You know, if you lose one, it makes it harder. But I must say the All Blacks took their chances. They scored a lot of tries and played well.
Well, you got Australia now in 2 weeks in Pretoria. What are you looking forward to there?
Yeah, we've got to pick ourselves up. You know, we're going to go home. We're going to take a bit of criticism, and you know, we look forward to Australia and show them what it's like at home.
Hold your heads up. Well played. Good luck for that game.
Thanks, Benny.
Gary Teichmann there, the Springbok captain, disappointed, no doubt, at the result. The resounding score, 55-35. We bear in mind that after Andre Fenter was sent off, it was 15 against 14, but that's the way it goes in rugby. You've got to have men playing fair on the field, and New Zealand took advantage of that. Let's go to the break again now and stay with us. We've got the panel assembled again to give you the lowdown, the highlights and the lowlights of this thriller at Eden Park this afternoon on One World of Sport.
Welcome back to Eden Park, everyone. We've seen the game. We've seen all the highlights of a marvellous match, which the All Blacks have won by 55 points to 35. Yes, 90 points in a game, 12 tries, really something quite spectacular. So the winning to the All Blacks by 55 points to 35. Let's have a look at some of the statistics in this match. Of course, we do know that the final score was 55 to 35. The All Blacks did pretty well at line-out time. Territorially, they were ahead at half-time, as they were with the amount of possession they had. There we go. Let's have a look at them now. Not quite there. Okay, so we'll grab those a bit later on. 45 points to 35, that was the score. And the statistics, yes, it shows up really that New Zealand were better in all respects during this game. All right. Now we have our two ex-All Blacks here, Grant Fox and Wayne Graham, who are going to discuss this match. After the game, a few people said to me they thought it was the best game that they'd ever seen, best test match. Now, what do you think about that, Grant?
Well, that's a big call. It was a good game of footy. More like Super 12 than a test match almost. I thought the All Blacks was their best performance this year. But, I mean, for me, that nail-biter 3 weeks ago in Johannesburg, I mean, that held us on the edge of our seats till the end of the game. This one didn't do that because about 10 minutes into the second half, I think most people knew what the result was going to be.
Yeah, what about you, Wayne?
Well, it was great, wasn't it? The scene was set. Eden Park was magnificent. The day was right. And I think the All Blacks really did want to put the Springboks away today. Yes. They nearly did it, but they were a little bit loose at times, and that kept the scoring up for the Springboks. But yeah, it was a great game to watch, plenty of entertainment.
Yeah, well, if they'd wanted to put the Springboks away, they certainly didn't start as though they were going to put them away, because the Springboks really hit hard right from the start.
Yeah, they did. It was a great start from the Springboks, and if one thing this All Black side has been guilty of all season, they haven't really started well, but all power, all aggression right from the outset from the Springboks, and they got the reward early on.
And then as the All Blacks tried to come back and get into this game, they almost dropped another one from this line-out, Grant.
Yeah, well, Kruger was onside here. He just read play well. Unfortunately, he hurt himself. You just see there. Ooh, that doesn't look very good on his left ankle. He's clutching at him. Jeff Wilson saved us here. We got out of jail when we could have been a couple of tries down real early.
Yeah, well, so 7 points to 0 it was at that stage. Then Spencer got the first of his 25 points in the game. And it wasn't long, really, before the All Blacks started to come back. Now, Frank Bunce was involved, and Frank Bunce had an outstanding game. He'd just come up from injury here, Grant, hadn't he?
He had a big first half, Frank. I mean, his All Black form this year has been outstanding. It was outstanding last year. There he just went across the face of the Springbok defence, outside Montgomery the fend, inside to Uramir in support. the All Blacks needed to hit back quickly, and they did it.
Yeah, so the crowd was really loving it at that stage. Got 2 very good tries, almost a third, and really the scene was set for a marvellous match. Zinzan Brook, of course, played a major role, going off with a head injury later on in the game, and after the match, we caught up with him.
Zinny, can you believe you've just beaten South Africa by 30 points?
No, not really. You know, I thought we were going to be on the receiving end of one of those games, which was pretty close in Joburg a couple of weeks ago, but 55 points is a big score to beat the Springboks by. Very pleasing too.
Amazing game, and I think the Eden Park crowd really enjoyed the way you threw the ball around, and that was a sort of the approach to the game. We were going to move the ball.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the preparation during the week was to create the space on the inside to give the outsides space, and we wanted to do that, but the Springboks sort of stole our thunder early on, and you know, they were only given a couple of opportunities and they took them. So you know, we found ourselves sort of backpedaling a little bit and just playing catch up, sort of similar to you know, a couple of weeks ago in Johannesburg. A little bit disappointing in that respect, but you know, the guys, it's pleasing that they took the opportunities when they came.
Now you look a bit of a mess. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I don't feel quite right at the moment, but just a little knock on the head and sort of a bit sore down the right hand side of the spine, but should be right.
Smell of victory makes it satisfying, however.
Yeah, it does, but I'll just have to see how the night opens up.
Well, his head opened up, obviously, and a fair bit of blood there. I'll bet he's not looking forward to having all the tape taken off his head later tonight. That was Zinzan Brook, another inspirational match from him too. Also, brilliant outfit this afternoon. The back 3, Wilson and Umaga, of course, and particularly Christian Cullen. He just showed it all again today, didn't he, Grant?
I mean, he's got such speed. I thought at times early in the game he was actually guilty of not looking for support, you know, tucking the ball under the arm a little bit. He came into his own later in the game, but his speed is an outstanding asset. And this was my try of the match. That was a super try that the All Blacks constructed off set piece. They worked the angles well. You know, off the short line out. I mean, it was just a super bit of rugby.
Christian Cullen setting it up and then scoring this try after Spencer had a dab, and again just showing the power of the man. 2 fens bursting through that tackle, and then even though James Small did try to stop him illegally, he was too good, so Christian Cullen getting another try. All right, so let's have a chat now with Christian Cullen. I thought was worked over a wee bit, wasn't he? He was worked over a wee bit by the Springboks early on. They were kicked to him a bit more than normal.
Well, I mean, Christian, if there's one bit of predictability he has, at most times he's going to run the ball back at you. So if you kick it to him, get the defensive screen upright, you think, hello, we've got a show here. He kicked the first 2 back, which I think may have sort of flummoxed the Springboks a little bit. They weren't quite sure, but after that, there was no kicking and he was just running everything back.
OK, well, let's get some thoughts on his match today from Christian Cullen, who joins Philip Leishman.
It seems as I'm interviewing all the walking wounded at the moment. You copped one too.
Yeah, right at the end, mate. I was pretty disappointed in that. I thought I'd get through the game with no injuries, but, you know, I whacked the calf and a bit of ice, it should be right.
It must be great playing against the South Africans because they're willing competitors.
Yeah, we've played, you know, so many times this year, and, you know, every time they come out firing, and, you know, we know it's always going to be a tough game.
This is a great All Black team, there's no doubt about that, and the back 3, the combination that you seem to be building up now is fantastic.
Yeah, it's working well, and, you know, still got a few things we can work on, and, yeah, just right through the whole season we've worked pretty well. You know, practiced a lot at trainings, and it's coming off now.
And the tries that you scored today were once again typical Christian Cullen type tries. You never give up.
No, I needed them actually because I had a mare of the first half, so I thought I'd better do something, and you know, I just happened to be there and you know, ran the score under the post. Yeah.
Back in John Hart's good books then.
I hope so.
I don't think he'll ever be out of John Hart's good books. He's had another outstanding game, scoring a couple of brilliant tries, Christian Cullen. He gets better. Although the defence try to shut him down, he's just got that a little bit of skill and unique ability to get through the gaps, even if they don't look as though they're there. So another outstanding game by Cullen. Also another fine game by the first 5'8", Carlos Spencer, Wayne.
Well, he's a great player and he loves playing on Eden Park. He's a great runner with the ball. I thought he looked a bit jittery early on, but this sort of play here, he's always there in support, and it's fabulous to have a player that can do so much. He can run, he can kick, he can tackle. He's always in the game, Carlos Spencer, and out here he proved it once again.
It was good too to see Mertens given a run.
Absolutely. We've got a great problem there, haven't we?
Yes.
We've got 2 very, very classy 5'8". So, I mean, if one of them gets hurt, we know, no problem. The other guys step into the breach and do the job, and it's a great problem for the selectors to have.
Yep, even though it was at Eden Park and an Auckland crowd there, the crowd gave Andrew Mertens a great welcome when he came back onto the ground. OK, 23 points to 21 then. That was the score at half-time. We'll take another look at the second half in just a moment.
We watched the referee. And it is a try. Josh Quantveld, one of the great ones. To breakfast, and he's done it again. Look at Wilson go! He can't believe it. Cullen!
Yes, the next one, the third match between the All Blacks and Australia is at the House of Pain, Carisbrook, next Saturday afternoon, and we'll be there here on One World of Sport. Well, the All Blacks have beaten South Africa 55-35 here at Eden Park. I don't know, guys, how do you pick a man of the match from this sort of performance by the All Blacks? Grant, you first.
It's a real battle today. A lot of guys played very well without maybe someone really standing out. I mean, I thought Randall had another good game.
Yep.
Uremia had a really solid game, better than he did the other week in Melbourne. But Justin Marshall also, for my mind, was very accurate today.
Yes.
Didn't do much wrong at all.
OK, his kicking has certainly come on. Wayne, what do you think?
Yeah, well, 55 points. Who could have played that? The All Blacks were a little loose at times.
Yeah.
There was a few tries that went begging and that sort of thing, and a few mistakes. But no, Justin Marshall was superb. I think he kicked over the top well, put pressure on. So quick, passing well off the ground. I thought he had a great game.
OK, the forward man of the match is now with Philip Leishman.
Time now for the forward man of the match, and chosen by the One World of Sport commentary team, Justin Marshall. Well deserved, Justin. That was another top effort from you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Phil. It was a tough battle out there. You know, when you come up against the South Africans, they really don't say too much during the week, and when they go out there and the first whistle starts, they're really into you, aren't they? So we had another big battle, but, you know, 50 points, we're happy with that, but we're still searching for that 80-minute effort. Still not there.
Well, Just van Westhuizen has a great reputation, and of course some regard him as one of the best in the world. Was it a little personal battle for you out there today or not?
It's nicely put, one of the best in the world. Oh yeah, it was a good battle. You know, coming up against him is always a good contest, and you know, I just tried to go out there and play my own game, and more importantly, play for the All Blacks and win the game. And at the end of the day, we did that, and I'm pleased about that more than anything else.
Okay, well, Tony Brigden is the Chief Executive of Ford New Zealand. He's here with the cheque, $500. Tony.
I think congratulations from Ford on being nominated the Ford Man of the Match, and congratulations on a great result and a great series. Congratulations. You'll probably have to share this with the guys in the dressing room, I think.
That'll be no problem. They won't let me in there without sharing it, mate.
Very
Thanks,
good.
Tony.
Well done.
Thanks very much to Ford. Appreciate it.
Okay, there he is. Man of the match for Ford, Justin Marshall.
Yes, a top effort from Justin Marshall, winning the forward man of the match. All right, another player who was mentioned by Grant, I think it was, about players who stood out today was Tane Randall, the Otago loose forward, who really has come on a treat, hasn't he, Wayne?
Well, yes, and especially when you get control up front like the All Blacks had in that scrum. They just marched the Springboks straight back off their own ball. Zinzan picked it up and fed Tane. But Tane, he's reading the game so well. He knows when to stand wide. He comes in and does his tackling and does his hard work. So he's really developing into a top-class loose forward.
Yeah, and he runs like a back and he passes like a back. He's got a lot of skills, Tane Randall. One of the outstanding tries, I suppose, was the man with the big white streak in the back of his head there. It was Tana Umanga. Again, it was Marshall setting it up.
Well, I actually think Van der Westhuizen made a huge defensive mistake going in here. But again, the All Blacks probably were aware that Van der Westhuizen goes in and sticks on the number 8 instead of going with his halfback. So they just worked it, and was, again, a good set-piece try, which you don't get very often at Test level.
Right, 55 points to 35, some outstanding tries, and I'm sure that the All Black coach, John Hart, was quite happy when he talked with Keith Quinn.
John Hart, in the long history of New Zealand against South Africa, there's never been a score like that. What's your reaction?
Oh, a lot of great rugby, really. I think some excellent tries and some soft tries too. So, you know, I thought we probably let the South Africans off the hook again today. I thought we had them there for the taking, and we just maybe didn't quite ram it home. But, you know, we started badly. They got 2 or 3 soft tries, really, and we had to work back, scored some good ones to get back. I was reasonably secure at half-time. I thought if we had the beating of them, I thought their scrum was in trouble. We had them out wide in the back, so it was just a matter of getting enough ball.
I watched at half-time. You were very short and sharp in the gestures from you're talking to the team. I couldn't quite hear what you were saying. It seemed like really strong stuff.
No, it was pretty direct stuff. I think we just let ourselves down. You know, we went out with a plan. We didn't stick to it. We gave the ball away at vital times that we shouldn't have, and all of a sudden, you know, the opposition got 21 points on the board without having to do much. So I was a little disappointed that we just started so badly and we were so loose. So in the second half, you have to say things tightened up, and it was only in the end that they got those couple of consolation tries. But generally, we got real control in the second half.
So you asked for 80-minute effort today. How close do you think you got for that?
Well, I wouldn't think it was 80 minutes, but you know, I said during the week, it's really hard to get 80 minutes against South Africa and Australia. They're very good sides, so you're going to be up and down. And when you're playing the high-speed game that the All Blacks are playing, where they're using the ball, you're going to make mistakes. The opposition will get into the game at times, and I think we have to accept that if we're going to play that sort of game.
Yes, it was tough stuff there this afternoon against South Africa. One unsavoury incident, and that featured a stomping, which meant that the South Africans were down to 14 players for a fair while during the game.
Yes, poor old Shawnee got caught on the bottom there, and the Springbok forwards seized their opportunity, didn't they? And they went in as hard as they possibly could. And then we see Andre Venter, who was the offender, and rightly so. Derek Bevan picked him out. They weren't just happy with fixing poor old Fitzy, but they gave him a bit of extra on the way back just to add the insult. So I think it was a great decision by Bevan. I think he did it very well. He handled the incident particularly well, and the Springboks suffered terribly for that mistake, because with 14 men it was all over.
Yeah, Derek Bevan said red card for you and sent Venter off, and then later on, of course, he gave the yellow card to James Small. Philip Leishman caught up with him after the game.
I suppose for you, James, it's difficult coming in against the All Blacks. You wanted to play the All Blacks, and then to lose by that margin. How hard has it been for the boys?
This has been a big lesson for us. I think it's a lesson that was coming, and it's something that we're going to have to take away with us and really take a deep look at ourselves. We played against an awesome rugby team today, and definitely the better team on the day away.
Is this a team, South Africa, that's not playing well, or is it an All Black team that's playing superbly?
Well, I think it's a combination of the two. I think we've got a changing team all the time. We've got a changing environment all the time, and it's very unsettling. It really is. We've got young guys coming through that they don't know where they are most of the time, and we come out with new combinations. You come out against a side that's playing, or with the calibre and the potential to play as well as this side can. It was their day today. The ball sprung for them today, and the decisions went for them. So good luck to them. Well done.
Well, disappointing for you. In the meantime, good luck for the future months.
Thank you very much.
As James Small, that aggressive winger for the Springboks. Well, the All Blacks winning it by 55-35. After the break, Frank Bunce answers some questions. But first of all, there are some great bits of rugby memorabilia available to be bought by you. Here's one of them.
93, 94 and 95 miniature jersey releases were sold out. 97s are here. Phone 0800 NZ All Black. That's 0800 612 552 now and order your All Black miniature test jersey, personally signed by all the players for just $549. Last year, 600 sold out. Now only 397 full-size All Black test jerseys with the test players' original signatures will be released at $1,199. Grab one now or they'll be gone.
That. The guns will be up for those wallabies. That looked like a lot of long grass at Carisbrook. But anyway, of course, that's just a reminder that we do have on One World of Sport next Saturday afternoon from Carisbrook, the Wallabies against the All Blacks in the third match of the Bledisloe Cup Series, of course, and the last match for the All Blacks in the Tri-Nation Series. All right, this afternoon you would have seen Frank Bunce lead the All Blacks out onto the field here at Eden Park. The reason for that? Well, it was his 50th test for the All Blacks. Now, he just answers a few of the viewers' questions. He's with Philip Leishman.
Well, Frank, first of all, congratulations. Can you believe 30 points over South Africa? That's not a bad victory for a 50th test match.
Yeah, no, it's we're very happy about it. Boys are pretty tired in the changing room, and but 30 points against a team like that, you know, it's something to be savoured, so we'll take it.
You've had a wonderful season, and there are a number of viewers out there who've got questions to put to you, so here's the first of them.
Hi, Frank. My name's Juan Dice. Who are your best mates in the All Black team?
Sorry, yeah, who are your best mates in the All Black team?
Oh, gee, I mean, that's a hard one. I wouldn't pick anyone in particular. I'm pretty close to guys like Walter, obviously, when he's around, and most of the backs, you know, get on pretty well. Hang out with Jeff Wilson a bit, but I mean, there's not one single one of them that I wouldn't enjoy spending time with. So I mean, everybody's happy and everybody enjoys the environment. So I couldn't put a finger on one person.
You get the feeling when you're playing that you get on with them anyway. All right, here's the question number 2.
Hi Frank, I'm Linda. I think you're a great player, and with modern training methods, do you think it's easier to play longer for the All Blacks?
Yeah, that's a fair point, I think. I mean, changing training methods are changing all the time, you know, and people are starting to listen. Coaches and fitness trainers and doctors and physios are starting to listen to players now a bit more and you know, give them breaks when they need it, physically and mentally. You know, test matches, preparing for test matches is very hard work, and they're listening to the players, giving them breaks when they need it, giving them time off, you know, and doing everything right. You know, we go through quite thorough warm down regimes, unlike we used to do, and you know, they try and create an environment that really, I guess, bodes well for longevity, if you like.
All right, Frank. Well, I know the questions of age always crop up when everyone's talking to you. I don't know why they do that, but anyway, here's another one.
Hi, Frank. Dave Sitton from Arizona. You know, so many of us remember when you came across to the States to play under the hot, boiling sun in Tucson when you were with the Otahu Rugby Club. Many of us are wondering how it is that you managed to escape wrinkles and things like that after all these years. Do you use some sort of special cream?
I don't know about escaping them. Yeah, I remember that tournament, actually. It was a wonderful time. Well, gee, where's the answer to that question?
Yeah. Well,
I'm just doing it as I do.
He's a natural. He's a natural. All right. Well, I'm sure there's another question on age, but we'll find out what the next viewer's got to ask you.
Hi, I'm Derek Hall. Frankie, that Michael Bryle, you seem to have a bit of a difference with him. Would you ever invite him around for a barbecue?
Yeah, no, he's not a bad chap. We, admittedly, after that test match, we didn't. We both got drug tested together, and we spent about 40 minutes, I think, in the medical room there without saying a word. You know, it was like raised eyebrows when we first met, and then sat there for 40 minutes without saying anything. But we've since met and talked and played against each other, and there's certainly no problem with him. He's a nice guy, you know, and there's certainly no animosity, as I say.
Okay, well, I think we have another question for you. Let's check it out.
Hi, Frank. I'm Ian Stewart from Orua. First of all, congratulations on your 50th game. You started your representative career for Auckland, then you went to North Harbour. We're just wondering if it was before World War II.
When was World War II?
Yeah, nice guy, isn't he, eh? All the way from... Remember that whenever you get to Orua.
To where?
Orua. It's down near Fielding, Kimbolton way.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I think the question has been answered. I think Frank's already satisfied us with that. Frank, it is a wonderful effort on your part this past season, and long may it continue.
Cheers, Philip. I'm enjoying myself, so we'll see what happens.
One of those guys sounded like he was a member of the mob. Hey, Frankie. That's good. Frank Bunce, 50 tests today. An outstanding performance by Frank Bunce. All right, earlier in the program, we gave you the opportunity to win a set of personalised number plates. Here's today's winner. Well, it is Dean Moyer of Alexandra. 85% of the people responded yes to the question that we asked this afternoon before the match started. And Dean Moyer, congratulations, a set of personalised number plates. Okay, so it's been a big day here at Eden Park in Auckland. The crowds loved it. The All Blacks have turned on another stunning performance. Tomorrow afternoon here on One World of Sport, we've got a game at Carrasbrook between Otago and Bay of Plenty. It's a non-championship game. And then next Saturday afternoon, of course, it is more test match rugby, the Tri-Series Bledisloe Cup match between New Zealand and Australia. And that is at the House of Pain. And that, of course, is your home ground, Wayne. What do you think? The All Blacks, again, to carry on, what, 7 tests so far, and they've won them all?
Oh, without doubt, I think, John, down at Carrasbrook, the Aussies already have said that they're not looking forward to the experience. It's sold out, 42,000 people, so it's going to be fabulous.
And you'd agree with them, Grant, they will win it.
I can't wait.
Okay. I hope you can join us next Saturday afternoon then on One World of Sport for more test action, but we'll see you tomorrow afternoon on Countrywide Bank Grandstand. It's been fun having you with us this afternoon here at Eden Park.
Hi, I'm Sean Fitzpatrick and I've got the last word today. Thanks for the support that I received from around the whole country, but it was fantastic to play my 50th test as captain in front of an Auckland crowd. It was really nice that the boys could put on 50 points for Frank and myself. So thanks once again for the support. It's been fantastic. Thank you.